Really? There we go.
Hello.
Hi. I was doing a dance party before we got live, and it was just like loading and loading and loading. So it was mostly this awkward, silent movements of my shoulders. But hi, welcome. When you get here, can you please say hello, where you're tuning in from, and what your beverage of choice is? Hi, Genevieve. Hey, Chelsea.
Beverage of choice.
Beverage of choice. My beverage of choice is my webinar go-to favorite / pretty much every other day of my life favorite. It is a grande iced caramel macchiato with half the pumps and 2 extra shots.
And I'm drinking water out of a glass bottle because it makes me
Feel fancy?
fancy.
Yeah.
It's glass, so it's nice.
Drink is water. Iced caramel macchiato. Jessica, we're twins! Hello, oh my gosh, Michelle, Erica, Sydney, Samantha, currently drinking coffee with stevia. Beverage is coffee with cream. Get it, coffee lovers. Peppermint mocha coffee.
Yeah.
Water with mint leaves. Oh, she's a little fancier than you, I feel like.
She stepped up her game.
I read that as Washington water, and I was like, what's Washington water? No, water in Washington. Mushroom coffee? What is that? Oh my goodness.
It's kombucha. That would be my other go-to.
I tried a lemon cayenne pepper kombucha the other day after working out, and it was delicious. Tea and honey. Awesome. You guys are amazing. Keep piling in. Keep letting us know where you're tuning in from and what you're drinking. We're going to get this party started like ASAP because we have so much material to cover, and we want to be here for you to answer all of your questions. So just a couple quick housekeeping.
Laura forgot her mug cake.
Oh, no. We're going to switch over to slides here in about 20 seconds. When that happens, there might be a slight delay. Sometimes the slides take a while to load. They might be a little bit blurry, but just give them time and really just listen. The slides are not where the information is. The information comes out of our mouths, right? And comes from you doing the work while we are covering it, okay? We're going to chat and do our working workshop for about 35 minutes, and then we'll head into Q&A, and we'll wrap this up about 1:15, okay?
Yeah.
You can go, if you don't have your worksheet, go ahead and make sure you get that printed out right now. Get you some scratch paper, get you a calculator, get your beverage of choice. We're going to have a slide that lets you know when to bust out that worksheet, but go ahead and have it with you now. If there's any time where we freeze up, the audio gets weird, the visuals get weird, refresh. There's a top button at the top of your screen that literally says refresh. I think it's green or red maybe. You can click that. You can hit refresh on your browser. You can close it and come back in. It's fine. Just give it a second. If you have Dropbox syncing, Skype on, Facebook running, Adobe Creative Cloud on, that is going to slow your bandwidth down, and you need all the power that you can, and it really just helps you focus. So put the phone in the other room, shut those things down, and really be with us today because we're planning your entire year today.
Yeah.
There is going to be a replay. If you have to head out early or if the audio messes up, you're going to get the replay today around 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's only going to be up until Saturday at noon, so you do want to make sure you're reserving your calendar to watch it, but don't worry. If something messes up, you're going to get access to it, okay?
Yeah.
Are you guys ready?
So the worksheets were in your email you got when you confirmed that you're coming. If you don't have them, do not worry. We are going to go over enough of it that you can just make notes in your planner or on a sheet of paper. But we're ready to dive in and help you plan your year in the next 45 minutes.
Holy crap, we're doing amazing things, okay? We're also going to keep the Q&A open. We usually hide the Q&A until the end, but if you have questions as we start going around when we're filling your worksheet, please ask them so we can answer them as it's happening in real time because we want to see your worksheets after this, okay? Awesome. All right. Are you in the right spot? Is this where you're supposed to be? I want you to know that you belong here. If maybe you've tried every other productivity hack out there, but none of them have really made an impact in your business. Maybe you're overspending money on those beautiful but expensive planners that just collect dust and pile up in the office and don't really serve a purpose outside of, you know, maybe just kind of making some appointments, right? And you're tired of downloading the latest app, the latest software that's all effective for the day-to-day things, but you're not really sure how to use them, right? And you're ready, no matter what, for 2018 to be the best year ever. We know that you're overwhelmed. We know that you feel like you're not going to catch up. We know that you already feel behind because it's almost the end of January and you haven't planned your year yet, but it's no judgment zone today.
You guys are in the right spot. You have 1,000,001 things going in your head, and you're trying to get clarity, and you're trying to come up with a plan. And if you're anything like us, you're a bit overwhelmed with the process. You know there's a level of success that can come with being super productive and super focused. And you want in on that.
Who wouldn't, right?
But you're not sure how to tap into it. And so we're going to help you with that. We also know that some of you just show up for pep talks. And don't worry, there's going to be plenty of that.
You're going to get some epic pep talks. First, we're going to check the excuses at the door. If you've been on a workshop of ours before, you know this is my favorite time, right? We know that as these things come up and as we're showing you some activities on how to get strategic about your planning and your goal setting, all of these little things are going to creep up in the back of your head. And that's okay. They happen. You're human. It's a normal thing. But I want you to just pledge, and I want to hear a hell's yes in the comments from all of you who are ready to pledge this, that you're going to leave these excuses that you see on your screen right now at the door. Just for the next 45 minutes, for the next hour or so, you're not going to let them creep in. You don't have time to implement a new system. Baloney. You like the piecemeal, quote, system that you have going on right now? Baloney, right? Oh, but I'm creative, so there's no way I can be organized and focused or on top of my tasks. Baloney, right? Or maybe you think we're not going to tell you anything you haven't heard before. And maybe that's true, but we've been told that we can kind of share some tactics and teach you things in a way that just clicks, right? And so if you're our peoples, you know that this is where those aha moments are going to happen. We're getting so many hells yes in the comments. I'm so excited.
Oh, yeah. So here's what's going down. We're going to help you unlock 6 simple steps to take away those big, lofty ideas and turn them into totally doable tasks and action steps that you can start implementing right away.
We call them sexy chunks.
It's true. Sexy all the way. We're going to help you copy our day-to-day workflow so you can keep on task and accountable without constantly.
Whoa.
Consistently. Without constantly asking yourself what you're supposed to be working on. I know so many of you like fret about, I don't know what to do today. I don't know what to do today. I think I need to do these 5 things, but I really
Is that what I'm supposed to be focused on?
I don't know.
And then you Netflix binge or go to Target or just take a nap because you're not sure if the things that you're spending your energy on in your day-to-day are actually being effective, and we're ready to change that.
Yes, you want to actually plan your year, work with us in real time, and get 2018 planned, and we are going to do it live right now, so get ready.
Because the goal at the end of all of this is to break down those big, lofty dreams, those Oprah-sized goals into steps that you're like, oh, I can totally do that. It's not unrealistic anymore. It's not just this dream anymore. I want you to start seeing that thing little by little, chunk by chunk, being chiseled to be accomplished, right? Because you deserve a rockin' 2018 and beyond, right? A plan that's going to help you up-level and supersize your small business, okay? So who the heck are we?
I'm Abigail, the co-founder, productivity guru, business builder, oily obsessed, and total flower junkie here at TCC. Emily Williams is my beautiful best friend. She is also our resident paint lover and houseplant murderer.
Although they're making a comeback. I moved some plants from the sunroom into the living room because I felt like they were getting too cold, and they're already like, ah. So I might, we might need to change that next time, guys. A little bit more about me, and I'm going to do this quickly because I'm really excited to get my hands dirty when working with you guys, right? But here is my whole world on this slide right here, right? My mama, my husband, my baby, my puppies, my camera, my coffee, my purse, my swell bottle, my plants, travel, all the amazing things that I love to do in my life and that I'm able to do more often, not only because of this business and the amazing things it has done for our family, but the amazing things that we've been able to accomplish. And I say that because the method that we've introduced and that we've created and that you're going to learn today has been followed by us and almost 400 other babes over the last 2 years. And those 2 years, we set radically crazy, insane, lofty goals financially to meet at the end of the year. And 2 years in a row, we've met them, no questions asked. The journey has changed. The products have changed. The goals and the mini chunks, right, have changed throughout the year. But for 2 years in a row, we've set something lofty and achieved it. And I want you to start to feel that too. No matter what that financial goal can unlock for you. If it's adopting like it did for us, if it's traveling kayaking in the mangroves, like it does for me. If it's just buying another coffee mug because you're a little obsessed, like it is for me, it doesn't matter, right? That money, that goal, that whatever that it's unlocking for you means something different to all of us. And whatever your picture would look like on here, whatever your 9 squares, 8, 10 squares would look for you, how do I count, right? Whatever your 10 squares would look like, I'm going to start to kind of visualize that. If the goals actually start being achieved, if they actually start happening, what would pop into these little squares?
Now, this is my life. It's a little less baby focused and a little less hectic, but I love the life that I've created. And I really only thought 2 years ago that the life I have now was nearly a pipe dream. I had no idea I would work so little, have so much free time, spend so much time traveling and getting to know other people and flower arranging and being oily obsessed and growing another business on top of this one. I just didn't think that those things were possible. And when I shifted my mindset and when I got really clear on my goals, big things started happening. We're talking doubling my income 2 years in a row. We're talking creating multiple streams of income to take care of my family. We're talking about the ability to potentially retire my husband this year. We're talking about having 2 fur babies and loving on them and spending time with them and doing the things I want to do on a Wednesday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yep. And outside of that, we also kind of do some epic shit together. And when Abby says working less, making more, it's not that thing of like, you guys don't have to give any effort and all of this money is just going to come from the sky. That's not the kind of business we built. We hustled our asses off to be able to do what we do now. But I want you to know, you know how everyone says, like, work like no one else will now so you can live like no one else can later. And I love that sentence. Like, don't get me wrong. But I feel like whenever we hear that, it's like, oh my God, I'm going to work for decades on decades on decades just to, when I'm retiring, get to finally live. And I don't want that for you. You're going to have to hustle. You're going to have to make some sacrifices. You're going to have to work your ass off. But I'm telling you, it's not as far off and far out of your reach as you might think that it is. We've perfected a 4-day work week. And honestly, most times that's a 3.5-day work week. We were able to grow a nearly 7-figure business last year while also taking 12 weeks off last year. We've untapped a new way to be even more hyper-focused in 2018. And we're going to touch on that tiny bit today in this workshop because truly it's for those 6-figure businesses going on to scaling for higher 6 figures or even 7 figures. Okay. And we know that not all of you are there yet, but I still want to share it with you. We now have a system for deciding what gets our attention, our valuable attention as the CEOs and the founder of this company, so we can easily spot shiny objects from miles away. And I know you guys are getting distracted by them on the daily, whether that's Netflix or that freebie or that webinar or whatever it is, right? They're distracting and they're sexy and they're not bad. But I want you to be able to have a system that says, yes, that's worth my time, or no, it's not. Okay?
Exactly. Because here's the deal. You are running a business and you need to be treating it like one. You have to, like, the thoughts and emotions aside that's telling you this is only a hobby. It's only ever going to be this much. This is only the amount I can accomplish. You need to leave the hot mess express behind. You need to leave the disorganization out the window. You need to drop the excuses and quit telling yourself that the things you want are not possible. Because here's the deal. They are, with enough intention, with enough goal setting, with enough intentional planning and going after those things step by step. And we're not talking about looking at some shiny goal and then like it's magically going to fall in your lap. You are going to take intentional steps over the next 12 months to reach your goals if you decide to.
Absolutely. But I also want you to give yourself some grace. And I want everyone on here to like literally type in, okay, giving myself some grace or grace given or whatever it needs to be. Because I want you to leave this kind of at the door a little bit with those excuses. All of y'all are creatives, right? We attract creatives. We are creatives ourselves. And we feel like sometimes we're broken. when it comes to being strategic, when it comes to crunching the numbers, when it comes to, planning in a way that uses that left brain, right? And we feel bad when we can't do that. We feel bad when we suck at all of those type of systems, right? But it doesn't have to suck. We are two creatives who've made a system that is built for creatives, by creatives for creatives. That's the whole shindig, right? Because we know that there is a different way than our brains have to process information and have to put it out on paper and plan it. It is different. We can't just take a traditional system and make it work for us because those feel icky and gross and forced. But I'm telling you, there are new ways. And if they worked for us, for the way that we used to be such a hot freaking mess, I'm telling you, it's going to work for you.
Because you're fired up for 2018. You have massive things on your brain, things you want to accomplish, things you want to do, places you want to see. Like, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But we need to channel that fire into something that's going to propel you forward and instead of just keep you stuck and overwhelmed. Because often fire makes us like self-conscious. It makes us worried.
Yeah.
It makes us question whether we're doing the right things because we're swirling in this, like, this could be so amazing and I'm going to fuck it up.
Yep.
And it doesn't have to be that way. You can go after things intentionally, and that's what we're going to teach you how to do.
So how do you actually organize it to make it actionable? We've created a system. It's called the follow-through method, and it's integrated with a bunch of different methods and a bunch of different strategic actions for it to work on a whole. And we're touching on just a tiny bit of that today in the workshop. But what we're about to share with you is exactly what Abby and I go through every single year and touch back on every single month and every single quarter to grow our business from barely reaching 5 figures to landing 5-figure clients to tapping into the multiple 6-figure realm to almost reaching 7 figures, okay? So that has all happened from 2015 to now. And you can't tell me that the way that we've broken that down doesn't work, okay? So we're touching that today. Get out your worksheet. It's time, baby. It's time to get to work. Tell us in the comments when you have your worksheet at your desk, you have your pencil, you have your calculator, and you're ready to get this started, okay? Because we're going to do some math on the next slide. Do not worry. We're going to handhold you through the math. Don't sweat. Don't stress. I'm not a numbers person either, but Abby has brought me to the dark side, okay? Awesome. Got it, ready, worksheet ready, got it.
Okay, so we are going to crunch some numbers, and there's a couple of things I want you to know before we jump into doing the math. You don't have to have this perfect right now. You don't have to have the answer right this second, but I want you to understand what we're doing, and if you do have the numbers available to you, go ahead and crunch the numbers. If you don't, just soak it in.
Yep.
Take some notes and be ready.
And I will come in here with some examples. If you have not sold anything yet, or you do not have anyone on your email list yet, we will follow up with that. But right now we're gonna pretend like everyone has some sales and some customers, even if it's 2, even if it's 200, it doesn't matter, okay? Crunch the numbers.
Okay, so the first thing I want you to be aware of, and this is going to go in the top of that worksheet as your 12-month goal, I want you to know what your financial goal is for the year. I want you to plop that number in. If you already have figured this out, great. Mm-hmm. If you don't know what this is, here's some things I want you to think about. I want you to think about what your goal is with your financial income. Are you trying to support your family, or are you just trying to pay for groceries? Are you trying to go on a lavish vacation, or are you just trying to pay for your gym membership? What is your goal with your business? And figure out what that number needs to be like to match that. So if your goal is, I want to make an extra $500 a month, what's 500 times 12, and stick that number in. Mm-hmm. If your goal is $100,000, stick that number in. Mm-hmm. Now we're going to take that and we're going to work backwards to help you figure out what your other goals need to be. So this should be your sales number, not your take-home income. We're going to put the number you need to earn on this sheet so that you can be reminded all of the time. Now keep in mind, and I mentioned this on other workshops, that typically the amount you earn personally is about half of the amount that you make. So if you need to take home 30, your goal needs to be 60. If you need to take home 12, your goal needs to be 24. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So those are some general numbers, but go ahead and plop that down as your Q4 main focus. Okay? So the next thing we need to do is figure out the value of your customer. So we're going to take your total sales from last year. We're just going to assume you all have this information. If you don't, you can plug and play with your goal for this coming year. But if you do have historical information, it's going to be way more valuable. So you're going to take your total sales for 2017, divide that by the number of customers that you had, and what is going to come out is your average sale. So how much are you making per customer, per client, per someone walking in your door and buying something, okay? So you're going to take this information, and there's two things you're going to do with it. The first thing is you're going to figure out your conversion rate. So how much are you making, or how many people do you need on your email list in order to get where you need to go?
And the reason why we say email list and the reason why we say subscribers is because that is the only thing in the world that you own. You do not own Instagram followers. You do not own Facebook group members. You do not own people who like you on Twitter or watch your YouTube channel or whatever, right? If you do not have an email list, that's okay. That's a whole nother conversation of getting that started and up. Right now, you can plug this in with people who are visiting your Etsy shop and deciding to purchase, people who are visiting your physical shop, people who visit you at pop-ups, people who you meet with coffee dates or refer you that turn into customers, right? But at the end of the day, I want you to keep top in mind that an email list and those subscribers are the only thing that you own, and that is going to get you the most accurate data.
Okay, so for Genevieve, you have multiple income streams, which is awesome. The simplest way to go about it is to just combine it and come out with one number. But if you do know, like, 60% of my business is from this side, 40% from this side, you could do both.
I would do both, specifically if it's clients and then is students for like a digital product.
Probably.
Because if you're wanting to leave one or the other, or if you're wanting one or the other to provide more of your income for the year, you need to know which is pulling which weight.
No, for sure. I just would be aware of, what is the average sale per each of those channels?
Yes.
And then the thing we're going to work on right now is we're going to take this and we're going to figure out, how many customers, clients, students, whatever do you need?
Mm-hmm.
And then what is your conversion rate?
Yes.
So your Q3 goal, and this is all working together. So we're essentially taking Q4 and breaking down, what do I need in order to make this happen, in order to create this world, okay? So if it's money, how are you going to get there? So you're going to take your total financial goal and divide it by your average sale. So that if your sales goal for this coming year is higher, you're going to ultimately come out with more customers. That's good. That's something you need to know. If it's about the same, that's fine. Whatever the number is, you're going to take your total sales that you want to create in 2018, your goal, your financial goal, and divide that by your average sale price. What this is going to spit out is the number of customers or clients that you need in Q3.
Brooke, yes, 12-month goal. That is the Q4 goal that you're going to put in the top box on your worksheet.
Yeah.
Jenny says, what if I'm planning on upping my prices or raising my average sales value this year? I would do it based on fact that you have right now, like as everything is right now. And then the fun part is playing like future, right? Doing the horoscope of, okay, if I raise my prices, how many less customers do I then need? Mm-hmm. If I, increase, my audience, what is that value of that customer going to go up to? You know what I mean? So then you can plug and play some hypotheticals. But I want you to do it on fact that is right now.
Okay, so Cynthia's saying that she has monthly reoccurring revenue, which is amazing. But our goal right now is to figure out what is that customer ultimately worth, not necessarily that they're paying you $35 a month. So if it's $100,000 and you have 1,000 students, how much are they worth? Okay, so they're each worth 1,000. So that's important information. So then you can see churn and other things that I'm not going to jump into. But right now, all you should have is your financial goal, the number of customers you need in Q3, or that 9-month goal.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to take this and we're going to figure out what is our conversion rate. So we are going to take our total subscriber number from the end of Q4 last year, December 31st. Where do we end up? How many subscribers do we have? We're going to divide that by the number of customers, and we are going to know our conversion rate. So if we had 1,000 customers, or let me start over. If we had 1,000 email lists and 100 customers, then our conversion rate is 10%. So now we have our conversion rate. I want you to write that down. My current conversion rate is 10%. So you have just figured out how many customers you need to reach your financial goal. So we're now going to take that 10% or 0.1 and multiply it times the number of customers you had. And
Regulators.
I'm going
to answer some questions. Kat says, this is really basic algebra, but it's blowing my mind. I've been engineering the math to justify being underpaid. That is the aha moment I want every one of you to have. Kim and Imani and a couple other, Lakeisha, you're asking relatively the same question. What if I'm just getting started? And what if I don't have any sales or subscribers yet? I want you to start back of crunch the numbers of know how much money you need to make at the end of the year. What is that Q4 goal? Is it to pay your bills? Is it to pay off student loans? Is it extra target money? What is it? And then if you break that down by saying, okay, if I want to make $30,000 this year, if I want to introduce this product or this service, if it's costing this much, how many customers do I need? You're going to have to play some hypothetical games, but this is going to give you some kind of realistic slaps in the face of, oh crap, if I only charge that much, I need a shit ton of customers in order to reach my goal, right? So then you can up your prices a little bit. Okay, if I'm in this range, I only need this many customers, right? So what this data shows you then is what your actions need to be in Q1 and Q2 in order to build your audience and create and push out your products so you can start to reach those goals, okay?
Okay, so we figured out your conversion rate. Let me review really quickly. You figured out your conversion rate by dividing your number of customers divided by your number of subscribers. So that's going to spit you out a point something, because that essentially is a percentage. So 0.1 is 10%, etc. Now you're going to take the number of customers needed, which you found out a couple steps ago.
I'm going to share this screen because they're asking to see, hey guys, they're asking to see these, and I do think that would be helpful.
Okay, so it's kind of small.
Yeah, I'm going to try to zoom in and make it bigger.
Yeah, I would make, there we go. Okay, so we took your, we've done a couple steps. We're taking your financial goal and dividing it by your average sale to get the number of customers needed. You already did that. Now we're going to take the number of customers needed and divide that by the conversion rate. So it's going to be that point something. So if it's 0.1, if you needed 1,000 customers and your conversion rate is 0.1, it's going to spit out how many subscribers you need to reach. Now here's what's going to happen. Some of you are going to be scared shitless by the information you just received. Oh my gosh, that's way more customers than I can imagine. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, that's way more subscribers than I can imagine getting in the door. This is a wake-up call, and this is good.
Yeah.
Okay? I still want you to put this down as your Q2 goal, because that is going to help you know that you have options. Because all of a sudden, if you have options,
Jenny, I need 25,000 subscribers. Yeah, we we had that wake up call last year when we crunched these numbers and our data showed us we needed 37,000 subscribers. But guess what, Buttercups? We didn't end up anywhere near 37,000 subscribers. We were averaging about 17,000 by the time we wrapped up last year. And guess what? We still met our financial goal. That's the cool part. I just want you to know the math, and I want you to know the facts of the math right now as they were. But your projects, your tasks, your goals that we're going to talk about here in a second, those can shift and change, and those can affect those end numbers.
Okay. So I know for some of you, you're like, I'm not ready to move on. I'm not ready to move on, but we're going to help you break things down. Yep. So I'm sorry we have to move on, but we're going.
You can watch this replay and listen and slow it down. Okay. So here's the magic of working backwards when you have this data. So we've figured out Q4. That's our financial goal for the year. Okay. We figured out Q3. The number that goes in that box is the amount of subscribers that you need / customers, right? It kind of depends on where you are, but I really want you to think of this as subscribers because those are the things that you can convert the highest, right? So based off that fact, what else needs to happen? What else can be a big goal that's going to help you reach that amount of subscribers, that amount of financial monies, right? For us last year, Q1 goal was to outsource. If we needed to be working more and getting people on our list and building that engagement, we needed more time to do that and doing less time of the grunt work that takes behind the scenes of our business. So that meant bringing on some VAs, outsourcing some stuff, setting up some systems for some things. Mm-hmm. Our Q2 goal was podcast related. So that was a new income revenue stream that we were hoping to introduce last year to help us with that residual, that recurring income, right? From sponsorships, from just awareness of people, more people hearing about our products and then buying our courses because they heard about it on the podcast, right? So we set a goal to make like $10,000 a month from our podcast. That also didn't happen, right? So some of those bigger goals in those separate boxes of the Q1, Q2, 3, and 4, specifically 1, 2, and 3, those exact numbers might not happen as they're laid out right now, but it helps you get a realistic, okay, but that's what's needed in order for me to reach Q4.
Okay, so the reason why you're scared right now is because it's stretching you, okay? Mm-hmm. And you have options to make those numbers less scary.
Yes.
Here are the 2 things you can do in order to make those numbers significantly less scary. A, you can increase the amount per customer. So how much is your average sale, okay? If you're going to increase that number, likely you either need to increase your prices or you need to increase the amount of products or reorders that are occurring with those customers.
Yep.
And those are things that are really in your control and something that you can change right away.
So what helped us reach our financial goal in spite of only having half of the subscribers that we quote needed in order to reach that goal is we increased our conversion rate of our list from 8% to 16%. So we doubled our conversion rate, right? We also introduced our signature product for the first time last year, and it was a very high priced product, easily 4 times as high as anything we had ever sold before. So those 2 things worked hand in hand in order for us to reach our financial goal in spite of not reaching the subscriber amount.
So we were able to increase our average sale, and we also doubled our conversion rate. How did we do that? We nurtured the heck out of our people. And so this is another one of your goals. So we talked about the overall financial goal and then the amount of customers and the amount of subscribers you need. And now another one needs to be a nurturing aspect. So what are you going to grow in order to help your people get there?
So we filled out the boxes of our quarterly goals, right? And you see those 6 lines on the sides. Those are your projects that are going to help you accomplish that quarter task. There are 6 of them that are spread out over the course of that entire quarter. So do not feel like you have to have those 6 done in the first month, okay? So for instance, if your goal is 60,000 subscribers, right? Put that down because that's what the math said. Part of those would be, okay, what's going to get your list building? Do you have an opt-in? Do you have enough opt-ins? Are you increasing engagement on those opt-ins? Do you need to increase your presence on social media to get more people aware of your opt-ins? Do you maybe need to try new things in order to get a flood of people in, like a challenge, a webinar, some Facebook Live series, right? What are the things that are perfect for your industry that you see other people doing that are helping them increase their subscriber list? Those become projects, okay? So then we break those projects down again. So for instance, say it's, okay, I don't have an opt-in right now, I have a really tiny email list, but I need to increase it. So one of those is develop an opt-in, right? So those bite-sized chunks get broken down into tasks. Develop an opt-in, brainstorm ideas, poll the audience on what they want for free, look at other industries on what's working for them, outline the opt-in, design the opt-in, upload the opt-in, right? Maybe you need to even decide on an email service provider in order for that to happen. These chunks get broken down in Trello. If you have Trello for Business, you kind of already know how this is laid out. But it's basically task, create an opt-in, bunch of tiny tasks in order to help make that happen. And then in order to have the most accountability to make sure that it actually happens, you add due dates, okay? So we're breaking down that opt-in that's on that create opt-in as one of your projects on the task to make Q3 happen. So then you come to Trello and say, what are all the tiny things that need to happen in order for that opt-in to get created? And then we're adding due dates, okay?
Okay, so Jenny, just to review, we have the financial goal as Q4. Q3, we have the subscriber and the customer goal. Q1 and Q2 are things that are going to help you develop those subscribers and those customers. So, I mean, perhaps one is 100% focused on content creation and opt-ins and developing that list. And another is totally focused on nurturing the people you do have and increasing customer engagement.
Mm-hmm.
So those are individualized. You get to decide, you get to plug and play for Q1 and Q2 what makes sense for you, but I specifically would say content of some kind needs to be one of them.
Yep, so our Q2 was content. It was the podcast, right? It was making sure that's developed and creating a promotional plan for us to get seen by more sponsors and by more guests who could bring a ton of value to our audience, right? It was about getting more eyeballs or earballs listening to our ads about our own program so we could get more enrollments inside of that. We knew that that would have a snowball effect to that end result. And that's what I want you to start asking yourself about the projects that you are assigning yourself throughout the year and throughout the quarter. Is this thing going to affect the end result in any way, right? Because we get bombarded with, come speak at this summit, come host this webinar with me, come to this pop-up over here, go watch this video series over here. And oftentimes those things can be great and serve our business really well. But if collaboration isn't something that's going to help you specifically reach that end goal, then why is it getting your attention? And I'm not saying it won't, like you just need to ask yourself for your specific industry, if working with another creative or person in your industry or whatever, if that's going to help you expand your reach, get new subscribers, or sell some stuff, then we really, really need to say, okay, do I have time for it? Is it something I just want to do because it makes me feel good? That's also a fine answer. But if it's saying yes to that is making you stressed, overwhelmed, and cut down on something that is directly related to your making money, then we really need to assess it. Abby and Lucas is mind blown.
Okay, so we know how much this can be overwhelming. Like you just set this huge financial goal, you're overwhelmed by the number of subscribers, but we want you to look at that number like once a month max.
Yep.
You need to have your ultimate focus on the day-to-day. So we picked an overall goal for the quarter. You need to focus on 6 projects that are going to help you accomplish that goal, okay? So your 6 projects are then going to be broken down into day-by-day chunks. What do you need to accomplish today in order to help you finish this project that you said will help you get to your quarter goal?
Well, and here's what's cool about staying focused on the day-to-day is I know as creatives, we get easily like bored, right? We're like, oh my God, I can't spend all day writing blog content, right? I know a lot of us can't do batching very well. I'm one of them, okay? So I get it. But what's cool is when we only have 6 projects to focus on in an entire quarter, some of those projects we might be able to accomplish in like a half a day, right? Like brainstorming an opt-in, cool, right? If we're already halfway there, just connecting the opt-in to our email service provider, done, it's up, ready, right? Then we got to create the social promotion, etc., in order to get people on there. But what's cool is that with 6 different projects that you know are going to help you achieve that quarter's goal, which is going to help you achieve the end result, Q4 goal, then you can divide and conquer as much as you want. So you're looking at your week, no matter how many hours or days that you can work and give your business its attention during the week, it doesn't matter. But if you're like, okay, this quarter goal is to get some more people on my opt-in or get some more people on my email list, right? So I need to design an opt-in. I need to create a social promotion. I need to like strategize on Instagram to increase my followers to this amount because I know that's going to help more eyeballs on my opt-in, right? Whatever those things are, all of a sudden in your day-to-day, you could be mapping out a social calendar in Later. You could be brainstorming some new opt-ins to maybe create an opt-in library. You could maybe spend part of the day designing some of those opt-ins, part of the day maybe hopping on the phone with a couple of creatives to see how you guys could collaborate, and maybe you could get on their email list in front of their audience, right? All of those things are building toward that same thing, but they're not the same task. So you can spread those out and mix them up however you want. But you know that if your day is filled with 3 different kind of tasks, they are still helping you reach that end goal. So you know that, oh my God, as soon as that's checked, it's going to lead into the other thing. And as soon as that's checked, it's going to lead into the other thing. Before you know it, when you're wrapping up the end of that quarter, you are set to start getting people on that list. Your promotion is great. You're in front of other people's audience. You've got opt-ins that are amazing, right? And you feel good about it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Okay.
So we want you to give yourself accountability. For some of you, due dates are going to be enough. For other of you, you need someone else barking at you. You need someone else in your corner checking in on you. How are you doing on your project? How are you reaching your quarter goal? Pair up. Find someone you can talk to, whether it's someone in this webinar you connect with, whether it's someone in our Facebook group that you enjoy. Maybe it's a friend you already have and you can spend time getting to know them. You just need to find that accountability partner so that you can continue to move forward and continue to follow your dreams. Because those goals are big, but they're doable when you break them down over and over again.
I'm going to read you our 2016 yearly review because a bunch of people are like, okay, well, what are the examples for the projects that they could be? So off the top of my head until I find it, remember that Q1 was outsourced because we knew that in order to pay more attention to the things later in the year, like hosting more webinars or hanging out with our people in our group more, or even creating more products, we needed to have more time on our plate. So outsourcing was priority numero uno. It might be in here. So the projects that would relate to outsourcing would be literally like, okay, here we go.
Well, that's
this year's. Okay. Would be brainstorming the tasks together that we want to get off of our plate, right? Decide what we want to outsource. Research candidates, interview, and like nail down potentials by what date, right? Create systems and onboarding processes for the things that we want to outsource. That's 3 projects right there, okay? It could be literally outsourcing a certain position, which I think is what we did for Q1, like outsource blogging, outsource podcast editing, whatever it might be, right? I don't have the worksheet. It's in there somewhere. Here it is. Okay. So we literally listed the things that we wanted to outsource. Photo and graphics was one project that was going to take researching a photographer or a graphic designer, interviewing candidates, getting them a trial period, deciding what the system or the workflow is, right? Okay, all of a sudden that one's checked. Add tasks to the VAs that we already had in our system. That would mean, what are those tasks going to be? Setting up meetings with them, offloading the task, checking in on their progress and seeing, what else they need. All of a sudden those become the mini tasks that are going to help make that project complete. Okay. Outsource customer service or email. Again, interviewing candidates, onboarding, continuing with our podcast editor, but giving them more tasks. So it's touching base with them. What else can we give them? Right? Finance. Again, interviewing, right? It's all those things that are going to help make that outsource thing checked. And as soon as those things are off of our plate, all of a sudden, okay, we have more hours in our day. We have more headspace. We have more white space to create. So now let's roll into the next one, right? So $10K a month from podcast sponsors. Brainstorm who the sponsors are going to be. Create Facebook ads to get more traffic to our podcast so we can be more enticing to sponsors. Create a better social promotion for each episode so they live longer. All of those are projects. Is that starting to make sense, guys?
And Kelly, this is not what you're supposed to do.
No.
You're not supposed to copy this. She was just giving examples of projects that help you reach your goal.
Yes.
So whatever your goal is for you, if you're a brand new business, baby, awesome. What do you need to get set up? Maybe it's that you need to get your website up and running. Maybe it's that you need to get your email service provider up.
Yes.
Maybe it's that you need to get your opt-in set up somewhere. Whatever that is, focus on that. Those are just examples of how to break it down into projects and then break it down even further.
Okay. Okay, so is the thing that you are doing right now, is it working? Is it being done at all? Is it giving you this knowledge about the insides of your business so you're able to set realistic, sometimes slightly unattainable, but realistic goals for your business? Has anything that you've planned yet this year followed the system that we've covered? Lizzie says, nope, not at all. Right? So can we just do it together?
We want to help guide you through this entire process. We want to help you take your big goals, break them down into steps, and break them down into a doable, actionable system that you can use on a day-to-day basis.
Jenny says, oh my God, not even close to working. My system is as effective as a chocolate teapot. A, I would eat that. B, not very effective for goal setting. So at this point, you have three choices. You can continue taking your time and bootstrapping it. That's worked for a lot of people, right? You're going to go at it alone. It's definitely not the fastest route. And sometimes you just need some more help, okay? You can keep with the hot mess system that you've got going on right now. No judgments, babe. You can try other programs or strategies or productivity hacks. There's a bajillion and one things out there. Literally just with a simple Google search, you could set how to set goals and you would get a shit ton of resources. You could binge through those. You could sort through them. You can find that's worked for you, right? Or you can just get in with the creatives who know how your brains work already, because we are also creatives, and get shit done with the almost 400 other people who have enrolled in the thing that we're about to invite you to.
And you guys keep giving us excuses. Like, I don't know how to do this. My list is 0. I'm a hot mess. My workspace is a disaster. I'm just supposed to be this way. I'm just a fly by the seat of my pants creative, and planning is for suckers. Mm-hmm. I can't be organized. My brain doesn't do this. I'm a visual person. I don't know how to learn. These are all excuses you are telling yourself that are not going to help you reach your goals. If you are constantly telling yourself positive affirmations about the things you're working towards, you are way more likely to reach your goals than if you're constantly putting yourself down about them.
Absolutely. So we want to invite you to the method that we created ourselves when we realized, holy shit, creatives don't know how to plan, because we were there, right? Not planning, not reaching our goals, and met with disappointment after disappointment because our business wasn't reaching goals, when in fact, we just weren't planning strategically, right? So how does all of this work? Abby just dropped in the link, thefollowthroughmethod.com. It's in the chat. You can go check it out right there, but we're about to explain to you everything that's about to go down. Basically, everything is waiting for you. It's all there, ready for you to enroll, sign in, and unlock everything. We've got worksheets, videos, bonuses, instant access, lifetime membership, and free updates. It's the follow-through method. We're getting you in the right mindset. We're helping you see the big picture. We're planning all the things so stuff can actually get done.
I absolutely love the follow-through method. It's not even the end of Q1, and I've already hit some of my Q2 and Q3 goals. Working backwards for my big yearly goal and breaking it down into bite-sized pieces has given me life and saved me so much time. Your course helped me get really, really focused.
Love it, Lindsay. So here are the modules that you're going to unlock that are ready for you uploaded right now. We go from mindset all the way through launching to tweaking and repeating, which is another method we've created. This starts at mindset because y'all are creatives, because y'all are beating yourself up about not charging what you're worth, because you're overworked and you're underpaid, because you're still treating it like a hobby, because you don't understand how this old little bitty creative hobby type little business can actually provide you a 401k. And we're changing that shit right off the top. And then we're talking more of your big picture strategy. So everything we went to today with even more examples, with even more formulas, with even more hand-holding. And then we're sharing with you exactly how we break down and plan a launch. We treat everything like a launch. Every product, every promotion, every new marketing strategy gets treated like a launch, because if it doesn't, it ain't gonna happen. So we share that strategy with you, and we do believe that that's a big game changer and why we are still around and successful and other businesses aren't. We also cover how we do daily tasks. You get a look over our shoulder inside how we use Trello for Business as a partnership, how you can also use it as a solopreneur, literally how we copy and paste and drag and drop and set due dates and actually get stuff done. And then we share with you our tweak and repeat models. So questions to ask yourself about, is this thing actually pulling its weight or does it need to be cut?
Mm-hmm. So Chelsea started with no business when she went through the follow-through method. In 6 weeks, she was reaching her 3-month goals and working toward her 6-month goals. And I want to go over a couple of the amazing things she did. She created an Instagram account and she had 100 followers. She started a Pinterest and Twitter account, designed her own website and blog, had 3 blog posts written, wrote a mini course, an ultimate guide opted, email optimization, purchased samples from China for her online stationery and gift store that she's launching in April. And she figured all of that out in just a couple of weeks.
6 weeks. 6 weeks, guys.
Intentional planning.
Intentional planning. 6 weeks. This is all the stuff that could be changing in your business.
Mm-hmm. Our students have done incredible things with their progress. They've landed in stores like Anthropologie, getting their products out for the masses. They've been featured on the Today Show. They not only have grown a massive Etsy shop, but they are actually helping Etsy define the future of what their platform is like. They're getting their wholesale products out into the world and being featured in massive shows like the National Stationery Show. They're getting featured in magazines that are on people's countertops and in bookstores all across America, like Southern Weddings Magazine. They're traveling the world for work and doing incredible things. They're seeing a 300% increase in profits and more. Someone else said today they literally saw a 700% increase over last year because of following these simple steps. Using these tactics from the follow-through method, she was able to break her big goals for 2017 into bite-sized pieces. They're all sorted into projects that she can easily see what needs to be done at a glance, and she can see her whole year.
Mm-hmm. Imagine the power of actually knowing what you're supposed to be working on today.
I know.
Knowing that every task you have outlined for today and this week and this month is going towards helping you knock down your goals. Imagine that power.
I know.
But we know sometimes you want more. So we've got you.
We have bonuses on bonuses on bonuses on bonuses. Everything we taught you today about how to break it down is gone over in even more detail. We're also giving you worksheets so you can review your goal progress every single month. If you're a paper person, we have a daily worksheet so you can get very specific on the tasks you need to accomplish, or you can translate it into Trello. We've also got monthly content planning worksheets. We help you figure out what your dream goals actually are. And there's so much more. I can't even go over all of the bonuses because it's seriously incredible.
And a bunch of you are asking for this. And guess what?
If you get on it today, like right now on this call, we're including an entirely other course in addition to the follow-through method. You're getting your business horoscope. Every single formula we talked about today covered in in-depth detail. We are walking you through it in a workshop-style format. We are giving you all the worksheets, all the examples, and my favorite, I've even created a plug-and-play Excel spreadsheet where you don't have to do any of the math. I tell you the 5 things you need to insert, and voila, you have it ready to go, and you can see exactly what you need to be working towards right away. Now, this is only included if you act today and get it on the call, okay?
So your business horoscope is a program that you're going to unlock if you enroll in the follow-through method before this call ends. And the formulas that we were covering that you guys asked to see, that is what that is, but even more, right? It is hand-holding through all of the math we covered today, plus more, with examples, Excel spreadsheets where you don't even have to do the math, where you can just input the numbers. Abby walks you through everything. So here's what it's going to look like when you head to the followthroughmethod.com. You're going to see this screen. You're going to hit the red coral button that says Enroll in Course, and then you're going to pick your payment option. You can save $78 with a one-time payment of $297, or you can break it up into 3 monthly payment plans. Sign in, log into your My Teachable account if you already have one, add your credit card information or check out via PayPal, hit verify, and you're good to go.
So you can enroll right now at followthroughmethod.com. Remember, if you enroll by the end of this call, you are going to get that entirely second course. You can save $78 today by doing the one-time payment of $297, or we'll break it down for you into 3 payments, totally doable at $125. All of that is ready and waiting for you. Brooke, if you want to email hello@thinkcreativecollective.com, we'll take care of you.
Kat says, yeah, I was creating a spreadsheet while you were talking so I could play with the math. Girl, we've got it already done for you. No reason for you to have to create it.
Yeah.
So, Michelle, that's a great example on what the difference is. She says, Trello for Business teaches you how to use Trello itself and gives you the boards that you need to stay organized. And the follow-through method actually teaches you how to set and go after those goals. That's exactly right.
Exactly.
Yep, $297 is a deal. Awesome. Okay, so ask your questions. We're on here for about 15 more minutes. Megan says, your business horoscope was her favorite course. I know it epically changed Megan's life. Like, it gave insight into her business that was already successful and already running, but she was like, holy shit, now I know this, and she can make even more strategic moves, okay? Guys, even if you haven't sold anything or got a list out or done anything, I really encourage you to consider investing in this program so you can get off the right foot. Because honestly, when we first started and didn't have a method like this, and we were just little business creative babies, we were just constantly chasing the dollar. Constantly chasing, where's our next client going to come from? Oh, crap, we need more referrals. Oh, crap, we need a blog post to go out so we can maybe expand our reach. And every single thing just felt like a fluster instead of strategic, right? I want you to feel empowered by the things that you're doing every day in your business, or whenever your business is able to get your attention, instead of, well, I don't know if this is even making a dent, but everyone says I need to do it, so I guess I'm going to blog or Instagram or be on stories or go to Facebook or whatever it may be, right?
I remember the first year we were in business, we had no strategic goals, no strategic plans. We were just hoping that we would make enough money to help, like, our families. And that,
welcome, Princess!
You could get what you needed to eventually adopt. And and there was no plan, like none. And I know the moment the plan was set in place, our business was changed forever. The following year, we tripled our income. The year after that, we more than doubled our income. And that's just like the tip of the iceberg. Like, I can't even imagine being in the financial place we are without this system, without this intentional goal setting.
So Sydney's saying, my business isn't product-based. It isn't rolling. It's a set number of events. But you sell stuff at those events, yes? Or you sell tickets to those events?
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Event is a product. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a physical thing. If you make money by selling something, you have a product. And you need to sell more of those or get more people attending them. Yeah. It's the same concept.
Yep.
Tickets sold would be your product, right? Not the actual event, but the tickets sold. How many people came? How many people are on your list? How many people are in your audience? All of that's the same kind of data.
Yeah. So Jillian, for you, I remember being in the same place where I constantly felt like I was being taken all these different directions. Now, here's what happens. Once you create your yearly goals, you can look at new opportunities and decide, does this fit into my strategic plan? Is it going to help me reach my goals? And generally speaking, Emily and I always prioritize things that are going to help grow our email list or grow our bottom line. And if they don't fall into those categories, instantly off the list. It's a no, it's a no-go, it's a maybe later, and we can set full intentions on what we're doing next.
Absolutely. And I think that, oh my God, I just had it. Oh, there's an entire, I was like, I had a train of thought and then it lost me. There's an entire module inside the follow-through method called evaluating and cutting the crap. And that's exactly how, like, we go deeper into that of like, how can you actually tell if this thing is going to affect your bottom line? And here are the screening process, basically, that you need to go through whenever you're approached by things or you see shiny object or whatever, right? In order for you to feel confident in your decision.
Abby, I know exactly who you are, and I'm fairly certain you asked to have a face mask party like yesterday, which we can totally do.
You guys are amazing, and we so need your help. Girl, we got you. We got you. Okay. What else?
So she's Inez, I always say her name wrong. Inez is enrolled in Strategy Academy, and she's a little confused on what she should be working on first. If it were me and I were doing this the way I would suggest to other people, I would go through Trello for Business first. I would go through the follow-through method second to get clear on my goals and get actionable, then get it organized in Trello. And then I would start heavy on the follow-through method, on Strategy Academy. I think you're in the perfect place. You said you're on Module 2. Module 1 was really focused on your why, but now that you have your why, you can really dive into what your goals should be and want to be, and you can use the rest of Strategy Academy to help you accomplish them.
May Trello for Business is not included. That's a separate program. It is $29, and I highly recommend every single person on this call get their booty in there.
Yeah.
All right? Yep, and Yes, Sonia, thank you for doing the math. I actually did the math earlier today too to really convince you guys that it's not going to take you forever. There is 1 hour, 50 minutes, and 28 seconds worth of video lessons inside the follow-through method, not counting the time it's going to take you to print off the worksheets. Praise the heavens that you found us because we're making you so many aha moments and fill out the worksheets. I bet you, I know that you can absolutely have your entire year planned with everything scheduled, with every project and task broken down after watching the videos in an afternoon. Spend half a day on this and you can have 2018 planned.
So Francis, if you purchase today on the call, we will get your business horoscope to you later today, okay? I will have someone from our team make that happen.
The reason, okay, but Sonia, you see how fast we talk? Yeah, that's because we don't sit around doing bullshit fluff. 2 hours does not equate to less valuable material because we cut right to the chase. We skip all the bullshit that a lot of other programs include because I don't want to waste your time.
And consider the value it is to you. Like, if it means the difference from you being in the same place 6 months from now or being able to accomplish your goals, like, that's priceless.
Yep.
May,
welcome, May.
So excited.
Yeah, I want to say hi to May and Vicky and Gayla and Francis and Bex. Welcome, guys. We are so pumped you are getting inside. You all will be getting access to your business horoscope for free. We're going to probably send you an email on how to get into that. So be on the lookout for that. But everything for the follow-through method is locked and loaded and ready for you to tackle, okay? Yeah, ain't nobody got time for that, Jillian.
Abby, I don't see your name yet.
Genevieve, that's awesome. Genevieve says, I have the follow-through method, and it took me less than 3 hours to create my goals at the beginning of the year. That is amazing. I freaking love that. And what's cool is every single month, at the end of the month, or generally the first week of the next month, we record a podcast episode that's our monthly review. So we do the monthly review from the month prior, and we use the worksheets that are included in the follow-through method. So you can listen to those and go along with them as we are doing them live on air. So you can be held accountable by our own podcast. Does that sound cool, guys? Okay. If you guys don't have any more questions, we are going to head out If you do have a question, please do not hesitate to ask us. You can tag us on Facebook in our Facebook group, thinkcreativecollective.com/community. You can send us an email at hello@thinkcreativecollective.com, or you can just enroll at the followthroughmethod.com or followthroughmethod.com. Choose your payment plan or full payment option and save $78. Unlock all of the material today.
Okay, so I'm going to give you the next 27 minutes. If you are in by 1:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, we will give you access to your business horoscope. If you are at 1:31, you do not get access. So you have 26 minutes to get inside, all right? So head over to followthroughmethod.com and we'll see you inside. And we can't wait to help support you on reaching your goals this year.
I hate to keep talking because that was such a great ending, but I am going to answer Brooke's question really quickly. If you're launching your podcast show from scratch, what would be your first 6 projects? So outside of your first 6 projects, I would highly recommend you go to the Strategy Hour on iTunes and listen to The Truth About Launching a Podcast. We recorded an episode kind of about that process because we launched a podcast from scratch.
Don't let it deter you.
Right.
We're a little negative in that podcast.
Right. But it's also truth bomb alert, okay? So what my projects would be research, editing process, or outsourcing editing. Like, are you going to do it yourself, and what is that process like? Or are you going to hire it out, and how much is that going to cost you? Research the equipment so you can know what to budget for and then purchase it. Brainstorm and outline topic ideas. Brainstorm and plan how many episodes are you going to do a week or a month? Are you going to have guests on? What's the general structure of your show going to be? And create that kind of system and workflow. If you're going to have guests, brainstorm and reach out to X number of guests by a certain date. It's 5. I would record some. Maybe design some graphics, get your iTunes graphic, pick your logo, buy your URL, decide if you're doing transcripts, decide if you're doing show notes, decide all of that back-end stuff. And then you can batch record some episodes and decide when you're going to go live and then create that social promotion. Okay?
Okay, on that note, you
have
25 minutes left to get your booty inside over at the followthroughmethod.com to receive that extra bonus.
Yep. Welcome, Patricia. Welcome, Mai. Welcome, Emanuela. Welcome. Love it. Welcome, awesome. Kristen. Okay, we will chat with you guys later. Catch you inside.